This is the Best or Worst podcast. And now, here are your hosts, Koji Steven Sakai and M. Martin Mapoma.
Or Worst podcast. And this is episode number 62. I was struggling there. I was trying to figure out what episode it was. And I should have done research before that. But
wow, you sound like me, man.
But our society is so focused on celebrity. We sometimes forget that regular people lead interesting lives too. Best or worst moment of your life, hosts Koji, that's me, and Martin, that's you.
That is me.
Are here to let your story out. We put people on the spot. What are you going to hear? It could be funny. It could be poignant. It could be sad. You'll know when we know. Best or Worst is now a twice weekly podcast. On Tuesdays, which is today, we get to know our guests. And on Thursdays, we find out their best or worst moment. And today, I'm super, super excited to have writer and stand-up, right? You're stand-up, right? Okay, I want to make sure.
You didn't do your research on that, did you? Writer and
he's a comedian.
Yeah. I'm in the middle of pre-production hell, and so it's been crazy. And I'm actually, for some reason, I decided to judge a big screenplay competition. So they sent me like 20 scripts to read in like a week. So I've been like trying to get through that. Yeah. So it's been like
you are a workaholic, dude.
Yeah, I've been
taking out a lot.
I know it's too much work, and the Lakers. So there's a lot going on. But how are you?
I'm good. I mean, I'm here. We're doing all right. It's a weird time. I pretty much live in this garage at this point. I'm working from home, so I'm out here most of the day, just writing dumb jokes, sitting in here, trying not to go insane. It's all right.
Oh, and I forgot, you're a podcaster too. You have a great podcast with Dwayne Perkins. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
I have been doing the movie night podcast forever now. I think we did 299 episodes before the world started crumbling, and now it's on hold. Yeah, it was. We had a great run. We're still going. We're still planning on getting back together once things are a bit less terrifying, and we're just going to kind of readdress, what we want to do with the podcast. But yeah, 299 episodes of us just shooting the shit about movies. It's fun.
Really? Do you any movie or just current movies?
Oh, we're all over the map, man. We do some current, especially if it's something huge in theaters, we'll do it. But mostly it's stuff that listeners can access easily and quickly on Netflix and Hulu and that sort of thing. So it's just sometimes we let the guest pick. Sometimes we pick movies that we know are horrendously bad and we make somebody watch them. Sometimes we pick our favorite movies. It's kind of all
I want to be in your show.
What movie would you do if you had your pick, like your favorite movie to talk about?
My favorite movie to talk about?
Yeah.
I think I have, oh boy, Enter the Dragon.
Oh, all right. We just did Enter the Dragon.
Not that
long ago.
Big Trouble in Little China with Kurt Russell.
That's one of my favorite movies to talk about. It is so great still and so crazy still.
Well, let me tell you, Jack Burton. Who? Jack Burton.
The best, man.
My friend's actually
we did, I think, within the last year or so. I love
my friend's making a TV show out of Big Trouble.
Oh no!
Really?
They're making a TV version, but they love. But it's from a place of like these people love this movie, so it's not like a place of like they're not fans of it. So I think they'll do fine. I think they'll be a really good show. I've read the pilot and it was really good.
Yeah,
I feel like TV adaptations have gotten a lot better.
They have.
This is going to be a train wreck. Don't do it. But now some people are getting it right, and it's definitely when they get the people that are the biggest fans of that material.
Yeah, well, and
you have a lot more time. Oh, go ahead, Martin.
I was gonna say, like, you ever see The Alienist? Did you ever watch that show?
Mm-mm.
So The Alienist was a great book written by Caleb Carr. I must have read it 25 years ago, and I always thought it would have made the most amazing movie, and it never came to light. And I guess they tried a few times, but the Alienist actually came out. Either FX or TNT did it, and I watched season. Yeah, I watched season 1, and let me tell you, they hit all the marks from the book.
Oh, really? I mean, I've heard good things, but I've only heard those things from TNT because they advertise that show like crazy during the NBA playoffs.
They do, man.
Right, they do.
But I got to tell you, man, it is one hell of a show.
Interesting.
And season 2 is out now. Angel of Darkness is the one that's going right now. So I'm actually, that was one that I don't think they could have done it 20 years ago even.
Yeah.
Well, it's
so you're right.
TV's changed a lot. But TK, I know you're a Boston Celtics fan. Is that correct?
Oh God, No, Koji.
Oh.
What?
Oh, our Knicks fan. Knicks fan.
Koji.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm a
there you go.
devastated Knicks fan. Thank
Okay, I was gonna say because it's some team that I don't care about. I mean, I'm
You're
a Lakers
like,
fan,
he's
so.
from some asshole East Coast city. It's either
Yeah,
Boston or New York.
It doesn't matter to me. Both of them are. I mean, I guess I hate the Celtics more than the Knicks. I mean, I don't.
Well,
You better.
At this point, why hate the Knicks?
Yeah, we don't have. I don't hate the Knicks. I take that back. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't.
Nobody hates the Knicks more than Knicks fans.
But okay, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you became a writer?
Oof, man, I tried to do regular jobs and I couldn't imagine sticking with them. It was I had some normal jobs out of college. I was like a financial recruiter for a minute. Hated every second of it. So it wasn't really qualified for it. Just kind of, I was okay at interviewing so I could get a job, and then I'd just like do nothing for a year and they'd fire me. It was a good cycle I was in. So eventually I just kind of decided I was in New York, and I was just kind of done with winter and done with the career track I was on. So I decided to move out west and go to grad school to SC for screenwriting. And my girlfriend at the time came with me. She is now my wife, and you know.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was good. We had like a relatively smooth transition from New York to LA. I went to school for a couple of years. I wound up getting a job on Tosh.0 as their blogger when that was still a thing.
Oh, wow.
And then just kind of worked my way up the ladder there to writer.
Did that show just get canceled?
Sort of. Yeah, so these are our last episodes on Comedy Central.
Are you still on the show?
Yeah, I am. I got.
Okay.
I'm a staff writer on the show, and they basically what happened was there was a few-year contract renewal we had gotten, but obviously, you know, the pandemic kind of turned everything upside down, and they backed out of that contract. So we're finishing up on Comedy Central. I think the plan is to take the material elsewhere. So I don't think it's necessarily over. I don't know if the show can be killed. It's
funny, man. I like it a lot. I only say that because I swear to God I read about that somewhere where you just said.
Well, yes, it did.
And I was like, what?
For all intents and purposes, it's been canceled by Comedy Central, yes, but it could. Yeah. You know, we will have the opportunity to maybe go elsewhere. So it's up there whether it's over entirely, but it's definitely done at Comedy Central after November, I think.
And how did you
12
transfer?
years?
Yeah.
And how did you transfer into being a comedian? How did you decide that? Were you always a funny guy, or?
I mean, that was sort of my thing where like I thought I was gonna do that as a younger person. I was really super into stand-up when I was a teenager, especially. But I just never really. I don't think I had the drive or the balls to pursue it at first. You know, I just, like I said, I got a regular job and just did that thing. But when I realized how unhappy I was doing that, I was like, all right, I've got to at least try to do what I actually want to do. So the plan was either move out here and go to school if I got into the school, or to just stay in New York City and do stand-up. So I wound up coming out here and just started stand-up when I arrived. Pretty much just went to the old Ha in North Hollywood for my first ever open mic, like almost exactly 10 years ago, actually. Wow. And just
how'd it go?
It was just brutal. It was like, I mean, the set actually honestly was fine enough. Obviously I kept coming back, but it was a 3-hour wait to get up on stage in front of the 2 comics that had stayed, God bless them. And like, I just told like a 5-minute long story that kind of had jokes peppered in. And it did okay enough that I kept doing it. But man, sometimes I look back on that now and I'm like, if I tried that for the first time today, there's no way I would have stuck with it.
Wow.
It's just tough.
That's crazy.
It's tough getting into it, especially in a big city like LA. There's so many comics. Like I didn't realize how crazy it was to try and start here and not start somewhere else and build an act. And then
like Boise, Idaho or something.
Exactly.
Wow. That's cool, man. So how'd you get into onto Tosh.0?
That was when I was at SC, I got an internship at Comedy Central in their development department. So I was basically just an assistant for free. Anytime, you know, called, they had let an assistant go, and I basically got plugged into that job and just did it. So I was reading a ton of scripts, doing coverage. And I guess they kind of started following my stand-up a bit while I was there. So when a job came up at Tosh for a blogger, they thought it might be a good fit. They gave me a call, and I had to, do a submission packet, and they liked it and got the job. And
cool.
I mean, it's the job I've had the longest by far in my life. It's crazy. I've been there for 8 years almost.
Wow, that's cool.
Well, and tell me what you've been doing
really
during,
cool.
what you've been doing during these pandemic times. How have you been keeping sane? And I know you're a father too, right?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Newer father. She just turned a year. So
congratulations.
Thanks, man. It's been great. It's a super weird time to have had a baby, but it kind of worked out timing wise for me and my wife. She's been working from home this whole time, and we were put on a temporary hiatus from Tosh when everything got shut down. So I was just home with the baby during the day for 4 months or something like that. It was,
wow.
It was a lot, but I got all this great time with her, and she's super fun. And honestly, she's like a pretty easy baby to this point. So it's been great. And now since then, since we kind of ramped up writing on Tosh again, we're doing it from home. So now mostly what I do is sit in my garage and smoke weed and write jokes. It's a good life.
That's awesome.
And I'm being a hero by staying in. So whenever anybody complains about what's being asked of us, I think they should fuck right off.
So so I feel like there's two kinds of people out there. There are the people who are very much like, I'm never gonna go outside, and then there are people who are like, I'm gonna go outside a lot. I mean, I'll socially distance and I'll protect myself, but I'm gonna not change my life too much. Which one are you?
I mean, we're definitely still going outside and stuff. We're just being smart, we're taking the baby to the park and wearing masks and keeping our distance. But at a certain point, I mean, especially now, like, it's just gone on so long that it's like, if we don't physically leave the house at some point during the day, I completely lose the ability to tell what day it is, what month it is. Like, what? We have to go into work twice a week to get tested in case they want to use us in a sketch. That way we have a negative test that we can show. And some of the time we have to write the date down on the paper, and it's like half the time I got to ask them what month it is. I'm like, sorry guys, what time of year is it again? I have no idea what's going on.
Wow.
So, we try to get out when we can. Haven't really left town or anything yet, though. Not like doing like big travel plans or anything. I don't want to take the baby on a plane or anything right now.
Yeah. Well, babies are harder at this point, I think.
It seems like the best thing to do now is just kind of take her out when we can, but stay local pretty much.
Yeah. Plus the babies can't wear masks, right, at this point.
Yeah, exactly. There's no scenario where she keeps a mask on for more
Well, when they're infants, you can probably keep them because they're probably
exactly. She's at the point now where she's just mobile enough to be like, fuck you, buddy, I'm not wearing this thing.
Yeah, that's the hard part, man. I see a lot of kids at the park, with no masks on. And at first I was like, why aren't they wearing masks? And then I saw a mom trying to put one on a kid, and the kid just pulled it off and just shredded it. So there was no chance of it getting back on. So it was just kind of crazy.
They're probably pretty young. They're probably pretty young kids though then.
Oh yeah, this kid was a year, maybe 2 years old.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Because older kids like our age, because I have an 8-year-old, almost 9-year-old, and he's
awesomeness.
At this point, he could like keep a mask on, and him and his friends.
He's good at it, man. Oh, and before I forget, Koji, my kid says to tell you to say hi to your kid.
Okay.
He told me to tell you that out.
Is he coming to the birthday parties?
I just saw that. Is it gonna be at your house?
No, it's virtual. Okay, never mind. We're gonna have a separate conversation later about the birthday party.
No, go on.
All right. Well, I think we're at the end of getting to know you part. So this is the end of this episode. So thank you, TK. We really appreciate you coming in. We'll see you in a couple days where we'll get to ask you about the best or worst moment. As Martin checks his phone. This is a professional podcast.
Sorry. Well, no. This is it's I had to take it.
Okay. But for this episode, we're asking people to help support us. People think podcasts are free, but they are not free. They do have some money as well as our costs, as well as just our time. I mean, so please support us on Patreon. You can go to our website, www.bestofworstpod.com. click on the Patreon. Anything you could do helps us a lot. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And we'll see you guys in 2 days. Bye, guys.
Bye.